In our previous videos, we drove from Miami to New York and enjoyed Christmas. Today we continue exploring the Big Apple. Enjoy. We check out from our hotel near Times Square. It is our intention to spend the rest of the day exploring the city from behind the wheel. We drive east on 48th Street and then turn left onto 6th Avenue, surrounded by a sea of taxicabs. We once again arrive by the corner of the Radio City Music Hall. We continue speeding north towards Central Park. We turn left on West 59th Street, Central Park South, towards the Columbus Circle. The tall towers at the end are the Time Warner Center. They are home, of course, to Time Warner Incorporated, as well as the Mandarin Oriental Hotel, CNN Studios, a shopping mall, and the theater. At the Columbus Circle, we turn right onto Central Park West and the Upper West Side. On the corner of 64th Street, we see the Harper Lee Hall, formerly Madonna's home. She sold it in early 2013 for almost $20 million. By 65th Street, we encounter the Holy Trinity Lutheran Church and continue going north, cruising along the lavish condos of the rich and famous. The prominent tower, a couple of blocks away to the left, is the San Remo, home to Demi Moore, Steve Martin, and many other celebrities. Even the late Steve Jobs used to own an apartment there, although he never lived in it and eventually sold it to Bono. This building to our left is the Dakota, where John Lennon used to live with Yoko Ono. She still lives there. The New York Historical Society, the American Museum of Natural History, and this massive building in front of us is the Beresford, home to Diana Ross and Jerry Seinfeld. I don't know about you, but I've seen enough celebrities for one day. Suffice to say that in order to live in any of these buildings to the left, you need to have some serious dough. Seriously. And as Central Park ends at Frederick Douglass Circle, so does the luxury. And it's time for me to fill up. I mistakenly pulled up to the full service pump. We don't have those where I live. It was a costly mistake. We continue on to Harlem, a major African-American residential, cultural, and business center. During the 1920s and 30s, there was a great artistic movement in theater, literature, and music called the Harlem Renaissance. And ever since, it has been up and down with periods of crime and great violence and calmer periods like the present. It is still mostly a poor neighborhood with all the problems that come with that. Contrary to popular belief, this was not the birthplace of the Harlem Shake. As we turn right on 135th Avenue, we are going into the Spanish Harlem. Sometimes it is cool just to stop and see the people crossing the street, the cars going by, a train far away in the distance, a slice of life in the city, a slice, if you will, of the neighborhood. We go back south on 5th Avenue and continue zigzagging east on 134th Street, south on Park Avenue, which in this area goes right next to the railroad tracks. We turn west on 106. The red brick low-income buildings, and yet another slice of the neighborhood through its people crossing the street. We have turned off the GPS, so we even take a wrong turn here. Sometimes, though, it is good to get lost. I mean, we obviously seen the map and know the basic layout of the city, but it's good to explore its nooks and crannies sometimes. South we go on 2nd Avenue, approaching the Upper West Side, one of the most affluent neighborhoods. We observe the contrasts of the big city, from one of its poorest neighborhoods into its most exclusive one. It's merely a couple of blocks. Look at this nice high-rise. Wouldn't you like to live there? South we go on Lexington Avenue and turn right onto 81st Street, but oops, it is blocked, so we must maneuver backwards. Not the safest thing. We turn right again 2 blocks down on 79th. We drive west, crossing famous Madison Avenue. We reach Central Park. Here's another slice of city life, a little different this time, wouldn't you say? We turn left on 5th Avenue, going south, one of the most famous avenues in the city. 5th Avenue divides Manhattan into east and west. It has been called the most expensive street in the world. Just as we start approaching the south end of Central Park and the shopping section of this avenue, a light snow starts to fall, as predicted by the Weather Service. We are from South Florida, so the slightest bit of snow is a major event for us. It is very exciting, even if the snow melts as soon as it hits the ground. And it starts to fall a little harder. We approach the corner of 59th Street and 5th Avenue, the southeastern corner of Central Park. This is where the famous Plaza Hotel is located, and also the famous Glass Cube Apple Store. We enter the famous shopping district with Louis Vuitton and Tiffany's leading the way. Yes, it is Tiffany's from the Audrey Hepburn movie. I think that every major luxury retailer has a boutique within these 10 city blocks. By the way, Frito-Lay did not pay us any money for the product placement. I don't even like their product. We particularly admire the holiday decorations at the Fendi store in front of the St. Thomas Church. We continue passing by Cartier and the St. Patrick's Cathedral, which is under renovation. Nothing to see, unfortunately. We pass by the Rockefeller Center as we start to get a glimpse of the Empire State Building to the right. And we continue going south along 5th Avenue in Midtown. To our right, the New York Public Library. Here's a view of the Empire State Building through the sunroof. We entered the Gramercy Flatiron District. At its heart, Madison Square and the iconic Flatiron Building, one of the tallest in the city at the time of its completion in 1902. Across Madison Square Park, there is the Metropolitan Life Tower, which was the world's tallest building between 1909 and 1913, only to be surpassed by the Woolworth Building. The snow starts to fall even harder now. Fifth Avenue ends at Washington Square Park in the Greenwich Village. Now let's get lost under the snow, shall we? It is what we came here for, after all. All this area is part of the New York University, and of course we didn't know that at the time. We turned left onto Green Street and then right on 8th Street. The Cooper Union Library to the right. This black cube is called Alamo, and it was sculpted in 1967 by Tony Rosenthal. It is a popular meeting place here in the East Village. We continue going east on 8th Street until we reach Tompkins Square Park. This area is called Alphabet City because the avenue names are letters. For example, the avenue we are turning into is Avenue B. We go further south on Avenue C, Louisiana Avenue, until we reach Houston. Houston. It's spelled like the city of Houston in Texas, but pronounced Houston. Houston Street is the boundary between several neighborhoods, most notably NoHo, which stands for north of Houston, and Soho, south of Houston. Oof, it's really coming down now. We go back north on 6th Avenue, also called the Avenue of the Americas. We turn left or west onto 16th Street and then south on 7th. And west on 11th Street, right at the intersection with diagonal Greenwich Avenue, in order to see the neighborhood away from the main streets. We make a right on Hudson, and then back south on Bleecker into the heart of the village. And they have a sign to prove it. We eventually go south on Broadway towards Chinatown. We get a glimpse in the distance of the Woolworth building, as I mentioned before, the tallest building in the world for several years. Eventually we turn left or east onto Canal Street, the main drag of Chinatown. But before immersing ourselves in Chinatown, let's turn left right here onto Mulberry Street to see a little bit of Little Italy. Little Italy is basically just a couple blocks and perhaps a little too touristy. Even the fire hydrants are painted in the colors of the Italian flag. It's very picturesque. Then we immerse ourselves into Chinatown, which feels like a different country all to itself. We decide to continue towards downtown, under the pouring snow. The snow, however, doesn't deter the tourists from taking a picture with the famous Wall Street bull sculpture. The bull is a symbol of financial prosperity, and sometimes just optimism, wishful thinking. Ever heard of a bull market? We are actually a couple of blocks away from actual Wall Street and the stock exchange, but it's getting late, and I've been driving for hours. We are tired and hungry. I make a wrong turn and we end up on the Brooklyn Bridge, crossing the East River into the borough of Brooklyn. At this point, we are not really in the mood for sightseeing, so we just turn around, take the bridge back to Manhattan. We have decided to sleep in New Jersey tonight, for economic reasons mostly. Besides, we are going to the hotel next door to where we stayed back in 1994. A trip down memory lane. After getting stuck in rush hour traffic, we are able to take the Holland Tunnel to the New Jersey shore. I have no video of the rest of the day, but let's just say that because in South Florida we don't really invest a lot of money in tires, I almost paid for it, as the streets in Jersey were more than a little slippery due to all the snow and ice. finally made it, skidding all the way to the parking lot. Good night. Coming up next, we continue driving around. We will visit the New Jersey side of the Hudson River and take a quick look at the Bronx and Coney Island. Then it's off to Atlantic City to try our luck at the slot machines. Eventually, we will revisit Washington, D.C. on our way back south to Miami, Florida. As always, thank you for watching and see you on the road.